Welcome back to Sakanya the podcast. In this series, we are exploring Lancashire, and today I am very excited to introduce you to my guest, Coral Horn. Coral is the founder of the Pink Link Ladies Network, a supportive community for women in business who are ambitious to grow personally and professionally. Coral is also founder of the Enterprise Vision Awards. The awards are now the UK's largest business awards dedicated solely to women. How wonderful does that sound? Our walk took us 5 miles through Stanley Park, Salisbury Woods, and beyond. And let me tell you, keeping up with Coral's story is almost as challenging as it was to keep up with Coral's walking pace. So if you hear some panting along the way, that would be me. From scuba diving in the Cayman Islands to scaling Kilimanjaro, from record shops to corporate boardrooms, every step of the way, Coral's story emanates purpose, resilience, and no shortage of pink. And thank goodness for that. We talked about reinvention, sisterhood, legacy, building platforms that uplift women, and spaces that make you feel like home. This wasn't just a walk, it was a masterclass in courage, community, and carving your own path. So lace up or settle in. This is not one you want to miss. Hi Coral.
Hey, Sakanya.
How are you?
I am excited to show you my walk this morning.
So I've never done a walk in Blackpool before, so I'm very excited for this. And thank you for having me.
Oh, no, you're welcome. And you probably have only just done like the promenade area.
I have, yes. I've taken a drive down in winter time to do the illuminations and got stuck. I mean, I didn't realise it was so popular.
Oh yes, man,
Traffic.
Panic.
Yeah,
to be
like
to
5 miles an hour.
Yes, to be honest, when you live here, you don't tend to go down that often. So today, when you had invited us to have this walk, I wanted you to take you to my walk.
Yeah.
And I think people have a perception of Blackpool. You know, it's all kiss me quick cats and all the rest of it, and maybe don't see the beauty other than the beach areas and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And they think that's it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take you to Stanley Park.
Yes.
And then we're going to go through to Lawson's, well, going to go through to Salisbury Wood. And then we're going to go back around the back of the De Vere. Yeah. We're going to go past the zoo and see if we can spot any elephants.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a really nice walk.
Yeah.
And it just shows you some of the beauty areas of Blackpool.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good, yeah, because I guess we always just think about Blackpool in a very one-dimensional way, and of course, Stars in Their Eyes.
Yeah.
That's always a popular one.
And also, because you've come to my house, you can see how close I am. Yeah. You know, to have this round the corner. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons I like living where I am.
Yeah.
The other side, you've got straight to the motorway, there's shops, there's pubs, there's restaurants.
Yeah.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
And then this side, you get the park.
Yeah, amazing. And have you always lived in Blackpool?
No.
No?
I actually wasn't born in Blackpool.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually not even a northerner.
What?
I know.
An imposter.
I am. I'm actually a southern softie.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea, Coral.
No, I know.
Your like accent is really northern.
Yeah, well, my dad's a southerner.
Okay.
And my mum's Scottish.
Right.
Actually from the Black Isle, which is up near Inverness. So when I was born in Surrey, and then we moved to Scotland when I was 6, and then lots of our relatives were coming to Blackpool. Yeah. And we moved down here when I was 10.
Oh, wow.
So I think my accent, I started to speak. I learned when I was in Surrey. Yeah. So I can't say my fuzz very well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I always say I'm a Southern softie masquerading as a Northern chick, because I think Northerners are cool.
Oh, I agree. I feel like I found my spirit home when I moved to the north.
But to be honest, most people think I've got a posh accent.
Yeah.
But then when I go down to London, people are like, oh no, they say straight away she's a Northerner, that one, you know. But yeah, I moved away when I was 19 to Manchester.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then I spent a period of time abroad as well over the years. Lived out in Sulawesi.
Where's that?
Indonesia.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so I lived out there.
Yeah, how long were you there for?
About 10 months.
Yeah.
I was a scuba diving instructor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Coral, oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed already and we've just started to talk. So yeah. Scuba diving.
Yeah, so I spent a bit of time out there. Yeah. Then I went to Dubai, was out there for a while. It didn't really suit me, Dubai.
It didn't?
No, not really for me. And then I went to Caymans. Yeah. I lived in Cayman Islands.
Oh, amazing. So is that where your secret bank account is?
I wish. Yeah, no, it was great. Loved it. And then I was getting a bit older and my mum was like, don't you think you should get like a proper job? Like, you know, scuba diving obviously in her eyes was not a proper job. So even though you are from a point of view of you're supervising people while they're underwater, the duty of care is massive. Yeah. You know, you're in charge of people's lives.
Yeah, of course.
So, yes, she said, you're getting a bit old for that now. Going to work in...
on the beach.
Yeah, bikini and flip-flops every day.
That sounds pretty nice to me.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. That must have been quite hard to transition back to life in the UK with the weather and
so can you?
The greyness.
You don't know that. So literally, I just signed up to do another year working in the Caymans, and we got hit by Ivan, Category 5 hurricane.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, we lost everything, really. We stayed for a few weeks after to do clean up and... Oh, it was a crazy time. Yeah. Living through a hurricane, you know, the aftermath of it. Yeah. We couldn't get back on the flight anyway because the airport was like decimated. Yeah. So after a while, when things got back and running, I literally... You okay?
Yeah, these laces keep catching to the other shoe. I think I must walk weirdly. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
That's all right. So, yeah, I came home and it was late October.
Oh, no, you came back
in the winter, I know. And I literally had a pair of cut-off jeans because I'd lost all my clothes. Oh. A guy who a Caymanian I knew, had given me a jumper, which was about 3 times too big for me. Yeah. And I had a pair of flip-flops.
Oh, gosh. And that was it.
Yeah. Oh, and so I was picked up by a family at Manchester Airport. It's doing what it normally does. Yeah. Throwing it down.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and I looked like a refugee.
Oh,
it was quite funny. But getting back to the UK in that weather was like, oh, God. Yeah. So at that point, I decided my parents were getting older. Yeah. And I thought maybe it was time I was... you know, nearer to them. Yeah. And not, you know, gallivanting around, as my mother would say. Yeah. Although I quite enjoyed gallivanting.
Yeah, it sounds so exciting. What were kind of your key highlights from being away in island life? I mean, I know England's an island, but...
Do you know, we would work hard. There would be some days we'd be up... We'd be at the dive centre for like 7:30 in the morning. And if we were doing... If I got dunked 3 times a day, which basically meant if I went diving 3 times, morning we'd do 2 dives, afternoon we'd do 2 dives, and then we'd do another dive on a night dive. Yeah. It would be 9:30 before, before we finished it. So it was long. Yeah. But, yeah, it was great. You know, we knew everybody on the island. Yeah. So if we rocked up to the hotel next door to the cocktail bar, we'd be getting like cocktails chucked our way, by the barman and stuff like that. So yeah, it was good. It was great like that. Yeah. Very social.
Yeah. Lifelong friendship.
Yeah, still in touch with some of the people from Cayman. But yeah, very social. No. I sort of, when we came out of the hurricane, because we were literally, our house was on the beach. On the south side, and the hurricane was coming to the south side.
Right.
So we went to stay on the north side with a woman who we knew owned a bar in the north side.
Oh, okay.
There's a running theme here, how many people with bars. And she lived on her own, and she said, you guys, because I shared a house with some of my work colleagues.
Yeah.
And so we all went up there on the Friday and saw out the hurricane in her house. Her house also had been barricaded. The walls had been covered. Yeah. The windows and everything. Our landlady hadn't done ours.
Okay.
So from the Friday through to the Monday, we stayed in the house. There was 5 of us and my cat, naughty cat, stuck in the house. No electricity, no running water. Yeah. So if you can imagine 5 people all needing to go to the loo and it doesn't flush. And literally trying to stop the water penetrating through the ceiling and stuff. Yeah. So we had stocked up on, we knew the hurricane was coming. Yeah. So we stocked up on cans of food. Yeah. So we literally ate cold beans and tuna and stuff like that. Yeah.
Full on survival, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But it was no radio, no mobile signal. Yeah. No lights, so we just had candles. Yeah, wow. And then when we came out on the Monday, my car was parked in front of a house. It had a tree on top of it. Yeah. So that wasn't going anywhere. It's like, okay, I'm not driving that. So we went out, and there were people in those pickup trucks who were literally driving around picking up people who needed to get back like us to our house. Okay. And so we jumped in the back of this pickup truck with a load of other people. And as we went down the promenade area at the seafront, there was houses where there had been residential apartments. Yeah. They were like sticks. They were just like piles of rubble. Literally, the tarmac on the road had been picked up and moved. Yeah. It was unbelievable. We got back to our house. It had already been looted. Yeah. There was palm trees and boulders in our kitchen. Everything had been underwater. Yeah. So, it was crazy. Oh, God. So, it was very strange. I just sort of thought, do I want to go back? Because it's not going to be the same as when I was there. Yeah. But I would love to go back one day. Yeah.
So you haven't been since?
No. Yeah. No, I've just been hard at it.
Yeah. Working. So what year was it you got back?
Right, so it will have been 2006.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So 2006?
Yeah.
Obviously, you started Pink Link Ladies Networking in 2009. Yeah. What was the journey to there from 2006?
So when I got back, I'm literally a suitcase full of clothes that are just knackered. Yeah. Half my suitcase was full of sand. Yeah. It was like, okay, got to start again. Yeah. And it was obviously coming up to Christmas, Yeah. Not a great time to be looking for a job. No. But a friend of mine was working at BT. Yeah. And I used to work with her at the newspaper. Uh-huh. So she said they're taking on sales reps.
Oh, okay.
And previously I'd been a sales manager and, an area manager. Yeah. But I thought I need a job. Yeah. She said they don't hire managers externally. You have to start. Oh, I see. So I said, okay, no probs. Yeah. So I was lucky enough to get a job straight away with BT and started literally in the November. Right. So I stopped with them. I did one campaign with them. Yeah. And then by the March of the following year, I was promoted to sales manager anyway.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So it was good. I had an income. I got a car. Yeah. And
good reset time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah. Doing...
Was it strange to be at a desk job all of a sudden?
To be honest, I was a rep.
Oh, okay.
So we only spent we spent one day in the office, appointment making, and then we were out on the road.
Oh, okay. That's
so Actually, up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Our first campaign was Cumbria.
Oh, wow.
We used to stay at the hotel at Penrith.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just literally go up on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And we stopped there for the entire week.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sounds cool, but it's like you don't see your friends.
Yeah.
You know, you're living out of the hotel. You know, the shine goes off it quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I became a manager, managed the sales team. And then it was like, okay, the 118, I don't know if you remember those guys. They were setting up, and a load of us were poached to set up their new offices.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
And so here, Sukanya,
yeah,
you need to have a little look.
Yeah, okay.
So you see along there, all the heron?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Loads of heron here. It's so beautiful.
It is such a stunning walk, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just love that it's right on your doorstep as well.
Yeah, the heron are just amazing.
Yeah. Is it kind of an area of, like, special protection or something?
No, but it has won lots of awards.
Has it?
Yeah, it's won the Stanley Park area.
Yeah.
Has actually been awarded the best park in the UK.
Has it really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, prior to lockdown. Yeah, got that.
Good intel.
So,
yeah.
And like, there's loads of areas where they feed birds and squirrels come in, and it's also
bringing the nuts for the squirrels.
I know, just in case we see any.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll just drop them in areas for them.
Yeah.
Before we get back.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving to 118.
Right.
And helping set up. Yeah, just helped set up the area. It's down at Sulphur Keys.
Yeah.
So I was there for a while.
Oh, okay. So that was there was BT in Manchester as well then?
Yeah, the office was, we had one in Manchester, and then another one in Preston.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the one where I was at 118 was where Media City is now.
Oh, okay.
So while I was there, they were just starting to build that area.
Yeah.
Went down the other week, it looks completely different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's so modern, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Don't recognise it.
Yeah.
Because we were literally in the first building that was there.
Right. Yeah. Oh, this is stunning coral.
You like this?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The lake's gorgeous, isn't it?
It really is. And actually, it doesn't matter that it's grey and a bit coldy and I'm a bit sniffly, because it makes it okay. Yeah, I brought tissues as well. It does make it okay when you see it like this.
Yeah.
And actually in the middle of quite a busy road as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. All this wildlife. I love it.
So you get so many birds here though as well. Yeah. You've got such a variety.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to hear them.
Yeah, and also you'll start to see the moorhens. Oh my God, I love their chicks when they have them. Yeah. They look like aliens.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so in the next month or so, we'll start to see them in this area here where the trees are all low on the water.
Oh, yeah.
They nest under there.
Okay.
And so you'll see the little families of half a dozen chicks.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have the biggest feet.
Yeah.
Like bright red feet and tiny little bodies.
Yeah.
They literally look like something you'd illustrate, They're like cartoon characters. Yeah. They're so cute. I can't wait for them coming back again this year.
Oh, that's really
They're my favourite thing to see.
Yeah.
Then when you look up in the trees there, you see...
Oh, yeah, all the nests.
That's the heron's nests.
Yeah.
Up there. You can see the heron in there.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they will be nesting with their eggs and stuff at this time.
Yeah.
Then you'll start to see the chicks coming out.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'll see them sitting in those nests.
Yeah.
And then eventually sort of taking their first flights.
Oh, that's so lovely.
So I do this walk.
Yeah.
2-3 times a week.
Oh, yeah. This is a go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year, you were a bit early.
Yeah.
But last year, in the other side of the park, we had owls.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was amazing because there was 3 babies. Oh, look, heron. So cute. So nice to see just the amount of different birds that we have living here,
Yeah, we forget, don't we? We live in such a
urbanised area. Yeah. So we've got the traffic to the left of us. We've got all this going on in the lake.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It's a bit of escapism in the middle of
Yeah.
Blackpool.
And I think we have, our lives are so fast moving.
They are.
You know, every day it's like, I get to the end of the day, it's like, crikey, what's happened? That's flown by. I don't think we often take the time to just
Stop.
take everything in and just take a moment to sort of look around us and actually appreciate the nature and our surroundings, which is why I love this walk, because you get a bit of everything.
You do. When you described it to me, I thought it sounded perfect. And I'm really excited about popping out of the zoo. I mean, zoos are very... oh, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Is that a heron?
Yeah, and we'll also be getting...
he's gone diving.
Yeah, the cygnets soon as well.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so last year we had one swan had 7 cygnets, and she would have them all on her back, under her wings, and just around, you could spot her around the lakeside.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah. So how did we get from 118 to Pink Link, ladies?
Oh, do you know what? Corporate and culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my fill, basically.
Right. Yeah.
I remember one time I'd organised a training session with my team. We'd booked a hotel room, and then I got a call as I was setting out, which would have been like, you know, sort of 7:45 or something like that, you know, early. And, can you go to head office? We need to do something there now, blah, blah. And I'm like, what about the team? Oh, just tell them to get on with the work, you know, go home, get yourself down. Head office was Windsor.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I've now got to drive from Blackpool to Windsor. So I had to go home, pack a bag, head straight to Windsor for some change in the company. And then it was like, okay, we now need you to go to Cardiff.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
After being there for a number of days and having extremely late nights where the team's together, this is the management team.
Yeah.
And we're working till like midnight, 1 a.m, you know?
That's not a life.
And then it's like, okay, now head off to Cardiff. I'm like, oh, okay. And I remember literally like a nodding dog, you know, on the motorway thinking, this is not good. I pulled into a service station. I thought, I'm going to have a kip. I had a kip in the car. And then carried on. And I just thought, this isn't doing my health and well-being any good at all. No. Yes, I might be earning a lot of money. Yeah. But
what's the point in it if you're not living?
What's the point if I'm not spending time with my friends, family, doing things? Yeah. You know, and again as well at that point, you know, the technology wasn't the same as we have now, so a lot of reports were done by hand. And so, you know, doing written reports in duplicate, the paperwork was crazy. Yeah. So you literally would be up till midnight just getting your reports done. Yeah. Most nights. And the culture was not great. No. I was one female in the north, the other female went off sick. And the managers, the male managers, when we had lunch, they'd off the scootle off. My team would go out for lunch and I'd be sat on my Todd, you know. It was quite...
not very nice.
It wasn't the best of places. Yeah. It wasn't very inclusive. Yeah. So I just decided...
Sounds very isolating.
I had enough, And every year there would be... And I always found this in corporate. Yeah. That every year there would be... Come December, there would be a cull. So it was always, okay, we're changing the names of your job description. You all have to reapply for your jobs. Oh, dear. And I never worried about that because I was a top performer. Yeah. Nobody ever gets rid of somebody who makes some money. Yeah. Yeah, so I always performed higher than everybody else. I had to because I was the only woman. Yeah,
so, twice as hard, twice as fast, twice as good.
And I think that probably didn't help me, you know, because like when I was getting, you know, Northwest Manager of the Year, and the boys weren't, you know, probably another reason they didn't invite me for lunch, you know. But you had to work so much harder to be recognised to justify why you had that post, I think, you know. So I was never worried about being let go. Yeah. But when it came around, and they always said, if anybody wants to volunteer to go, I'd already decided I'd had enough.
You were going. Yeah.
And I was already planning my first business. Okay. And so I took the opportunity to sit and put my hand up and said, I'll go.
Yeah.
And so I took a payout and went.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was going to leave anyway. Yeah. So it was like, why drag it out? Let's take the opportunity to go now. It was a great exit for me.
And how much in advance of doing that had you already considered what your business venture was going to be?
Well, to be honest, my roles previously as a salesperson, a sales manager, we were meeting businesses all the time, and we had massive amounts of training in sales, and you were meeting lots of smaller business owners, didn't have a structure in place.
Right.
So I'd already sort of got the idea to set up a sales coaching company.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
Because I could see there was a market for it.
Yeah.
If they'd had the training and knowledge we had, then they could benefit from it.
Yeah.
And help increase their sales.
Yeah.
So, that's what I did. I set up my first training company.
And what was that called?
Acumen Sales Coaching.
Okay.
Going through it. So this one is Salisbury Wood. There are loads of trees down. So I don't know if it's storm damage.
Yeah.
But it's such a shame because it's a beautiful carving.
Yeah.
And there's loads of trees in here down.
Yeah.
We wrote courses, had them accredited by the ILM, and then once that was done, Institute of Leadership and Management.
Oh, okay.
So that they were rubber stamped, approved, and then we went out and did sales training. Yeah. But we did work. So this stuff here.
Oh yeah. Wild garlic.
Yeah, wild garlic. The whole place is covered in wild garlic. Yeah. It smells gorgeous.
You can smell it. There's a place in Ulverston, the Buddhist temple.
Yeah, I've been to the Buddhist temple.
Yeah, and they have a massive wild garlic area.
Yeah, the whole place here is just covered. So some days when it's sunny, oh my gosh, the smell in here is just amazing.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It is, totally.
I find it quite overwhelming.
But you can use the leaves.
Yes, you can cook with them.
Yeah, you can. So you can use the leaves, you can use them for cooking, which actually I need to do.
Just don't get the ones near the front.
Yeah, definitely. Or make sure you give them a good wash.
Yeah. This is beautiful, Coral.
Yeah, you see all the...
you personally own this walk now for me. This is Coral's walk.
When I was training for Kilimanjaro, I used to do this 5 times a week. Yeah. So that would knock me up 25 miles. Yeah. I know it pretty well. Yeah.
This is great. And also to train for something like Kilimanjaro and be able to do it from your doorstep outside is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did go to the gym as well. Yeah. I
think you have to do the strength training, don't you, for that kind of walk. But we will come to Kilimanjaro.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave that one till later. That's another story. That could be a podcast in itself.
It could actually.
Morning, guys. So, that was it.
Did you employ people?
No, so what happened was, as I was doing this in the training business, we were doing a lot within enterprise, so we were working a lot with new starts, and we had a whole section that was all about lead generation. And whenever we got to that part, all the women we were meeting who were new in the businesses, so quite new starts, when it got to the talk about networking, as an area that they could lead generate from, they were like, I'm never going back.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what? And they were going, because I knew in the first year of our business, the 50% of the business we brought in had come as a direct result of networking. Right. The other 50 was me targeting specific companies that I thought would be good for us, i.e. the good companies for us to work with.
Like a cold call scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they're all saying to me, and when I say all, it was repeated so many times, that they didn't like networking, they'd had poor experiences, they'd never go again. I'm thinking, these women are missing out potentially on what could have been 50% of their turnover generated through networking. Yeah. So
that's incredible stats.
Yeah. So I was like, what? Yeah. So anyway, I asked why. So I did market research.
Yes.
And I asked 50 women.
Okay.
what they didn't like about networking, what they wanted, how much they wanted to pay, various questions around, you know, what they were looking for. And that's when I set Pick Link up, basically. Right. So I set it up on the back of the feedback. So we made sure the timing was after the school run. We made sure it was only once a month, because as new businesses having to come every week,
you just can't afford the time.
It was a time out, and it was also sometimes it took the shine off it. Right. You know, coming to us once a month, they really look forward to coming to see everybody.
And actually it can be quite stressful to put yourself in that situation when it's such a out of your comfort zone thing to do.
Yeah, it's very daunting. If you're going on your own, you're new to networking, you don't know anybody, you have no you know, you don't know what to expect, you know, all those sorts of things.
How do you describe networking?
Hello. It's gorgeous. So pretty.
How do you describe networking to people who don't know what it is?
To be honest, when people ask me what I do, who aren't in business, I just say I run events. Oh, okay. Because they don't understand what networking is. So it's easier for me to say, oh yeah, I run events for women. When it's a business person who asks me, then I'll go into what networking is and why it benefits and how it can benefit. Okay. And so really, it's just saying it's a group. I mean, for me, it's women. Yes. A group of women who are all like-minded, who are all in business, that all go through the same challenges and struggles, but by coming together, you can help and support one another with information, you know, saying, don't do it that way, I did it, didn't work, you know, all of that sort of stuff.
Sharing the success and failures.
That helps you to think, okay, because when you start running your own business, you've got to know about everything. Well, it's impossible, isn't it?
No, it is impossible.
So,
and that's overwhelming.
Yeah, totally. So having people around you who've been there, done that, just helps you to make better choices. And also think, oh, I've got a friend now that I know I can trust and go to about this issue or challenge or what have you. So I go through the style here.
Oh, golf course.
Yep.
It's not a walk if you haven't passed the golf course.
Nope. So the road forks here.
Okay.
And you can go that way, which is the short route. And go that way, that's the long route. Okay. For me, I always go the long route.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a weekend with my cousin and we went to a House of Happiness event in Manchester, which was a sober rave. It was really fun.
A friend of mine went to one up in Kendal the other week.
Oh yeah, Kendal's doing sober raves as well. And it was, I think I did 25,000 steps.
Well, to be honest, there are, I mean, we have a lady within our network that runs a support group for women who choose not to have alcohol in their lives. And for some of them, yes, maybe they've experienced issues around alcoholism. Others, they just choose not to drink. It's a lifestyle choice. And I think as well, it's really good because the pressure, I think sometimes if you go out and you say, oh, I'm just having a soft drink, people are like, oh, why are you not drinking?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because actually, why should you drink? And it doesn't, you know, they had badges at this event saying sober, not boring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's a strange thing to think that we have to spell that out.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get it. Last year at the EVAs, we did 2 cocktails for the drinks reception, both of them non-alcoholic.
Yes, I remember.
Because we wanted to put that message across. It's okay to have a drink that's not got alcohol. You're not boring. You're just choosing to live a different lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know, don't get me wrong, I like a drink. But, you know, it's all about moderation, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I do tend to just drink water when I'm walking.
I tend to drink water most of the time.
I do as well.
When I have people visiting or friends visiting. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's either water or wine or gin. I don't really do squash or fizzy drinks. I've got tonic. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And
I'm the
during the
same.
week, I tend to just drink water.
Yeah, I'm the same. Water, wine or gin, but it tends to be this time of the day is just the water.
Just the water, yeah.
Although I do like tonic with lemon and a slice up ginger.
Oh, do you? Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so if you're like trying not to have a drink, because there are times when I'll go, okay, I need to have some of the drink-free nights.
Yeah.
Robin there.
Oh, I love seeing a robin.
I do as well. They're so cute. Yeah, so I find I don't like lots of carbonated drinks, but I will have a no-fat tonic with ginger and lemon in. Yeah.
Well, that sounds ace. I might do that tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
It sounds really refreshing, actually.
It is, yeah. So you've got the golf course on the other side here as well.
Yeah. So networking then. So how many did you start with?
Oh, do you know?
It's huge now.
I just thought we'll have Blackpool and that'll be it, you know?
Yeah.
But then, like, we launched in September in Blackpool. That was our first meeting in 2009.
And how many people were there?
Oh my God, yeah, really good. We had like 40 people turned up for launch.
Amazing.
And we actually had an official launch event.
Oh, fabulous.
Of an evening. I had a couple of speakers. And then people were saying, when you come to Preston? I was like, I hadn't even thought about Preston. I was just going to do Blackpool.
Yeah, so you were being prodded to expand.
So we launched in the Preston in the January. And then, it's just, it got to a point where I actually enjoyed that more than the training.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I just decided...
Phase it out.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people in business have said to me, when you start a business, you need to concentrate on the one thing.
Yeah.
If you divide your time up too much and you don't put enough effort in, it'll never grow, you know. So it got to the point a few years in, I just thought, I really just want to concentrate on this. And that's when the training company, you know, we ceased on the training business, concentrated on Pink Link. But then Pink Link had grown by then, you know, we started the EVAs. So...
And with, so just winding back then to your first Blackpool networking event, how did that go? What was that like?
Exciting.
Yeah.
And do you know what? There were people who came to that meeting and joined, still with me now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. So I look at them now more so as friends, you know, because that's like 16 years this year.
That's amazing.
And still members. Like, you know, although we have seen a lot of change, people come and go. Over the years, we've gone through births, babies, newborn babies, deaths, unfortunately, you know, marriages, divorces. Well, and you go through all of that with people.
I'm just going to tuck my lace in and pop back out.
So, that's why it becomes more of a relationship.
And that does help with trust building, confidence building.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so, with the 40 people that arrived that day, how was the atmosphere? Was there excitement? Was there nervousness?
Really excited. I think I always think you have to have a measure of both.
Yes.
You know, excited, but also I was nervous.
Yes.
You know, there was always that people book on and you have that feeling in your pit of your stomach.
Yeah.
Are they actually going to show up? You know? So you worry.
Oh, you can hear those birds. Wow. Yeah, you worry if they're actually going to turn up.
They said they're coming, but are they actually going to come, you know?
Gosh. Oh, it's quite something. I mean, it's kind of starting a movement, because I wonder how many people who came to that first, not the first one in Blackpool, but who come to their first Pink Link meeting thinking, oh, I'll just go and give it a go, but I don't think it's going to help me. And about 2 years later, still coming.
I know. And then there was those that were really nervous at networking, had been elsewhere, had those poor experiences, came to Pink Link, really found their confidence through the support of the other women, and then were really confident at doing their pitches, and then went off to do networking elsewhere in mixed groups again.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, sometimes, you know, they would stay with us, but they do alternative. And I always say that that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't see other groups as competition.
No.
If the women are learning and they're gaining from it, then they should do as much as they want. I love these mushrooms, see?
Where was the thing? Oh, wow, yeah.
You see there's more here.
Little tree mushrooms. They look like a staircase.
They do.
You actually do want people to go to other networking groups, don't you?
Because they're progressing and succeeding. Yes, we don't own our customer.
No.
You know,
no.
I always think in a positive way that if they've come through us really for the first time and they're going, oh my God, I can't stand networking, I don't want to even say my name.
Yeah.
And that happened in so many instances where people didn't want to even say hello.
Yeah.
My name is, you know, and do a 60-second pitch. To be going elsewhere, you know, a year down the line and feeling confident to stand up in front of a group and do that 60-second pitch, that is something we're proud of. You know, it's like, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, we've done something good there.
And statistically, and just generally through generations and millennia, women are known to keep themselves at the bottom of the pile, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we don't tend to promote ourselves, or because we're just naturally falling into that make sure everyone's okay role before we put our own life jacket on, and trying to come out of that is really hard when it's a societal sort of pressure as well.
Yeah, no, it's really important. And I think that's another part of the networking part, is for the women to come together to talk about their struggles. Yeah. Because once they get back home, they slip back into a different role. Yeah. You know, now they are mother, you know, or wife, you know, and it changes the dynamics again back to, well, they're not really interested in the business, and they also don't understand a lot of it sometimes. They just want to know what they're getting for tea. Yeah. Or is my gym kit ready, you know? Yeah. And why are you doing this? Why can't you just stop? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I get that from the women a lot, where they've said, you know, maybe their partner or husband or what have you is not maybe as supportive as they could be. It's like, what are you messing about with? Yeah. It's not making any money. Yeah. But, you know, shit, who does make loads of money when they first start out the business? No, exactly. Passion and also skill. And resilience. Determination. Yeah. All of those things to keep going. Yeah. Oh, we've got horses. Oh, yeah. There's often horses along here. How lovely. I told you you'd love this walk. I do love it. It's just making me smile so much. And what's lovely about this bit is all the blossom coming out now. Yeah, it's actually a really nice time. Because spring is springing. There's so many different trees and fauna around here. Yeah. It changes through the season as you come through. It's beautiful. Yeah. Morning, ladies. Morning. Are they friendly? Oh. Is it? I'm allowed to... Oh. Hello. Oh. Hello. Yeah. Aren't you gorgeous? Oh. Beautiful. Oh, you're so gorgeous. It's a bit cold though, isn't it? Today? It's a bit nippy. Yeah. We've got a good stride on. Pace on. And the thermals. Oh. Yeah. See you later. Yeah, it's difficult to be the person who can see your own potential but be surrounded by people who don't. Yeah. And that's where this network really helps, doesn't it? Yeah, and family as well. Yeah. I'm going to admit something here. Yeah. And I'm hoping my mother will never ever listen to this podcast. But yeah, even my mum at one point saying to me, I remember saying, when are you going to like ramp it up and stop messing about being so small? Oh, wow. Yeah. And it wasn't enough. Yeah, in her eyes, you know? And that's the thing I think about success, right? Yeah. We all measure success differently. Yeah. And for me, okay, I'm not a multimillionaire, and I'm never saying I'm going to be that. Yeah. But for me, it's the outcomes. Yeah. When we've got a woman who comes through Pink Link and her confidence is on the floor, and now she's striding out and she's succeeding and doing well, that to me is a win. Yeah. You know? Absolutely. And those... supposedly small things, that's what makes it all, that's what it's all about. Yeah, it's really quite
bit altruistic, isn't it?
Yeah, my dad never said he was proud of me.
Yeah. Oh.
Until I took the EVAs to the Winter Gardens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that was relatable to him as a...
Yeah. So my dad had been brought up in Surrey. Mm-hmm. He, from a middle-class family.
Yeah.
He had gone to catering college.
Yeah.
He did his training at the Savoy and the Dorchester in London. He'd done a buffet for Prince Charles, really, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we came to Blackpool, at the time we moved, I ended up going into the worst school in Blackpool.
Oh, really?
It's knocked down now. I was in it last year.
Wow.
And my sister, they realised, okay, that's a really shit school. Sent her to an all-girls school.
Okay.
And I came out of school with one GCSE.
Right.
I had no intention of going to uni.
Yeah.
I had enough. I just wanted to work.
Yeah.
And I think that always disappointed him.
Right. Yeah.
But they had a hotel. So I was brought up in a hotel since I was 8.
Oh, wow.
And invariably, we had a Scottish waitress. Jackie, her name was.
Yeah.
And she liked to drink, did Jackie?
Did she?
And the amount of times my mum would say, get your uniform off. Get your pin, your waitressing pinny on.
Yeah.
Jackie's not turned up.
Oh, okay.
We've got, a room full of guests need the breakfast.
Right.
And then the bed's needs changing. And then the dining room's turning up. So I was the sickest child in school, I think. The amount of sick notes I got.
Yeah.
Because I was working.
Yeah, you had to help out.
Yeah. Because they were running a small business.
Yep.
And when people let them down like that, it was like, that came to me.
And did you make the connection with sort of your journey to being an entrepreneur and setting up Pink Link by the training company? Did you make the connection that actually you've always had entrepreneurship in your life from childhood? Yeah,
I suppose so. But I think I lacked the confidence to do it.
Right.
I think I only got the confidence once when I got the idea.
Yeah.
But also when I saw... There was amazing practice that I saw around me, but also some terrible practice.
Right.
But when I left school, I went back to sixth form college for 1 year to do my English.
Yeah.
Mainly because my English teacher in school said I'd never get my English.
Right.
Which I didn't.
Yeah.
So just to piss her off, really, I decided, okay, I'm going to go and do another year and I will get that bloody English, which I did.
Yeah.
And I started working in the local record shop.
Oh, okay.
On a YTS.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an old bird, so I remember YTS. It was £40 a week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, I did well in the record shop.
Yeah.
Ended up being assistant manager.
Okay.
And then... when I'd gone to work at the record shop, I worked for Richard Branson.
Yes.
I remember meeting him one day. He just walked in the shop.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like unannounced.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was coming.
Yeah.
But you've got to bear in mind is we didn't have mobile phones and stuff.
Yeah.
He was doing like a PR stunt down in Blackpool on the promenade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so it was to do with the cleanliness of the sea.
Yeah.
And so he just came in and said, "Hey, I'm Richard." I was like, yeah, I think I know that. Yeah. I'm like dumbstruck. Like, I'm about 17, and I'm like, shit, that was Richard Branson. So he pulls up the counter. He said, "Can I use the phone?" I went, yeah, come through. And he showed me where the phone is. So he was obviously, no mobiles, no internet back then. Go across here.
Yeah.
And he came in to use the phone. And then I had a quick chit chat and then off he tootled. I was laughing.
Wow.
Like, what happened at work today, love?
Yeah.
Richard Branson came in.
Yeah.
Nice. Scoot around here.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed working in the record shop.
Yeah.
It was good fun. It was very trendy.
Yeah.
To be working in records. Anyway, long story short, I moved to Manchester. And there was a guy who was expanding. He had a little indie shop in Stockport.
Okay.
This bit's beautiful with the arch, isn't it? Anyway, he was looking for somebody to help him expand. And he asked the record company reps.
Okay.
He used to go in then. That was back when we used to have vinyl and CDs and all the rest of it.
Which is a bit of a resurrection, isn't it? Yeah.
And so the record company reps, my name came up a number of times.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so he reached out to me and said, fancy having a meet. So, yeah, basically took me on. So we had an independent shop in Stockport where it was all very trendy, back streets type thing, white label records. We've got all the latest dance stuff in. Everybody went to him.
Yeah.
And he wanted to expand. And I helped him to start 6 new stores.
Right.
So basically I became his area manager. Gave me a car.
Oh, fab.
I had a Jeep at one point, a little Suzuki soft top Jeep, which was really cute.
So is this just timing-wise? Is this before you went off to the Cayman Islands?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was only 20.
Wow.
You know.
You had that was a lot of success for that age.
Yeah, so by 21, working with Russ, I bought a house.
Yeah.
So I got my first house.
Fabulous.
Back in the day, and it was like £30,000.
Wow.
So I know.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky to get a decent car for that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought my first house.
Yeah.
Had the Suzuki soft top, which was not good on the motorway because it was very noisy and quite wobbly.
Yeah, of course.
So
great for looking at the illumination.
Yeah, but also, you know, at 20, it was quite.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was really, it was really cool. You know, like, you know, people are like, oh, look, they're in a soft top Jeep.
Yeah,
you know,
I love that for you.
So yeah, it was quite funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up running about 6 stores with him.
Yeah.
And so then I was in charge of all the staff. He made me a director of the company.
Yeah.
So by 21, that was my first. That's really, I think, where my first entrepreneurial stuff came from.
Yeah.
Because we would be sitting, I remember doing Wigan. We had a shop opened in Wigan, the shopping centre there. 1 o'clock in the morning, we're still putting the finishing touches to the store, you know.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we're open mega early. With a queue outside. Yeah. And we had a band in.
Yeah.
There was a dance band in to do record signing.
Yeah.
And music blaring.
Yeah.
And he was the first. He had these units where you could put the headphones on and choose the CD you wanted.
Oh my God, that was always so cool.
Yeah.
That was me in our price.
Yeah. So it was mega trendy, you know. Russ was really good at getting that sort of stuff that others didn't. Yeah. And he was always slightly cheaper. So he was a real hard negotiator with the record company reps. And I wouldn't say they liked him, but they respected him. Yeah. Because he had, so all his stores had gallop machines.
What's that?
So, you know, like when you have your barcode, you scan it through. Yeah. So Gallop would choose a certain amount of record stores around the UK to put in a Gallop machine. Every time you sold something, it went through the Gallop machine. Oh, okay. So basically, that was how the chart was created. Right. So,
I see. Okay.
So, if you're a record company rep, and you know you've got, say, 4 record shops in one town, and you know one of them's got a Gallop machine, you haven't got enough stock for all of the 4, who's getting the stock? Yeah. The one with a Gallop machine. You do not want that store to run out on a Saturday when it's going to help to compile that week's chart and your single potentially being number 1 or not. Yeah. So, one, he always got his stock.
Incredible. Yeah.
But also, there would usually be a deal. Buy 10 CDs, get 1 free. Yeah. But Russ would leverage that power he had because he knew the value of what he had. You want the record to be number 1, you need to do me a better deal. Yeah. So when I say they might not have always liked him, they respected him as a business person. Yeah. He drove a hard deal. He knew the value that he had.
And there's a lot of learning from that as well for you, isn't there?
Yeah, it was really learning. Hi, ladies. Yeah. That nest up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So, he worked hard, negotiated hard, always was one step in front of the competition. Yeah. And he had a good reputation. So if something was coming out, everybody knew he'd have it first.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a change.
That's great.
It's all changed now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's all downloads.
It's all online. Yeah, there is still something nice about, I think, using a vinyl player. I've got one, albeit hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's something nice about it. It's nostalgic and not just like working through the soundtrack.
But yeah, so it taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about stock control.
Yes.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Managing people.
Yeah.
So there were so many things.
So what made you decide to then go travelling and live a slightly more bohemian lifestyle?
Yeah, so I lost my sister.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she passed away. She was only 30 with cancer.
Carol, yeah.
And I think at that point I was sort of 6 years in working there. And it made me realise how precious life was and how things could just happen. She had 3 small children, you know, 4, 6 and 7.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, tiny. And that was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
I think we all have those, you know. Yeah. And so I took a picture from a magazine of an island in Fiji.
Oh, okay.
And I stuck it on the wall in the office.
Vision boarding.
And I didn't even know what a bloody vision board was then. But I think that was my first experience of a vision board.
Right.
Because I stuck it on the wall. And I said to the girls, you know, the admin girls, so I'm going there next year.
Yeah.
And they were like looking at me, right, you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, because I was like Russ's right-hand woman, and it was like, that's not happening, you know. She's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
How funny.
So I did.
Yeah, good for you.
So I did. That. I rented out my house.
Wow.
Sold the car.
Yeah.
And I booked a trip around the world for a year.
Right.
So all the way around the world, one-way ticket all the way around.
Fabulous.
Got a backpack and thought, right, off I go.
And you were in a good position because you were solvent.
Do you know what? I didn't have that much money.
Yeah. Skills.
I had about, this sounds crazy, I had something like £1,100,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, this is a long time ago, so
which is a lot then.
It was, but still, for a year, no.
Okay.
But I got jobs along the way.
Yeah.
I ended up being a year and a half.
Right.
I kept extending my trips.
Yeah.
Like, I really like this place. I'll stay a bit longer, put that flight off.
The freedom to do that is amazing.
So I did go to that island in Fiji.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I had a month in there. It was beautiful.
Good. Oh. So
travel's really good for you to... I've always been somebody that likes travelling and likes to experience different cultures. Yeah. You know, I always try something different food-wise. Yeah. You know, I'm always up for doing things.
There's so much growth from travelling, isn't there?
Oh,
and also to connect with yourself, spend time with yourself and know who you are.
And just meeting other people from different countries with different cultures.
Yeah, it's very enriching.
Yeah, so I did 18 months. And when I came back, Russ said, "Oh yeah, do you want to come back?" I forgot
about Russ.
Yeah, well, I did for 18 months. My mind was not on Russ, I tell you. It's more about having a good time and having adventures.
Russ hadn't forgotten.
No, so he said, "Come back." He said, "We're in Scotland now. I'll give you a BMW." Oh wow! He said, "I'll fly you up to Scotland when you have to go there." I'm like, "Okay." So he'd expanded. Yeah. But I said no. Oh, okay. Yeah. I said no, that's behind me. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Morning. I'm always one for that. You've got to move forward. You can't keep looking back at stuff.
No, I agree.
But his company was called Music Zone. Okay. And I came up with his slogan. Because one of his big pulls was he was always slightly cheaper than his competitors. Okay. His strapline I came up with was more music, less notes. Right, very good. I love that. I should have bloody copyrighted that one. You should have. Oh, that's ace.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I said, nah.
Yeah.
I said, literally, I just said, that's your dream. I got to find mine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you can't keep propping up his dream.
Yeah. And I needed to find out what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I took an amazing job.
Yes.
When I say that, I am being completely sarcastic.
Okay.
It was 50 quid a week.
Yeah.
With commission on top as a telesales at the local newspaper.
Oh, okay.
And,
Coral.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that sounds quite tough.
Yeah, I thought,
yeah.
might as well give it a go, you know?
Yeah.
So I remember my first day at work, we'd had really bad snow. Now, we don't get a lot of snow in Blackpool.
Yeah.
And it was horrendous. The buses couldn't get through. I walked over a mile in the snow
Goodness me.
to get to work. It was my first day.
Yeah.
I thought, I can't not go just because it's really snowing. Well, I got there was no bugger there.
Oh, no, because it was snowing.
Just the cat, exactly, looking at me like, is she mad? So I hung about, hello. I hung about, the caretaker was there. A couple of people started filtering in. Anyway, eventually my boss came in and I think she said, go home and come back tomorrow. So I was like, okay. Yeah. So my first day, it was like, okay, I was working on a magazine they did. Here's the yellow pages. Yeah. There's a script. Pick the phone up and start calling.
Wow.
That was
your training.
That was the training. But you know what? Yeah. People are always, women say to me about sales, that it's one of those things that really scares them. Right. You know, they don't enjoy it. Yeah. And I found it was just talking to people. Yeah. You know, initially, you know, it was like, you can, I'm more than talking to people, listening to them, you know? Yeah. What is it they're telling me that they need? Yeah. What is it we do that I can help them with that? Yeah. You know?
That's just good. Yeah. So it was, I guess it's important to making people feel heard, isn't it?
Yeah. I was a rep within 3 months of taking that job. Wow. I was made a rep, got a car, all the works.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I ended up sitting on the board of that company, running 2 newspapers and sales team.
And what does it mean to sit on the board?
Oh, you know, at times, it wasn't easy. Right. You know, I am not. It's probably why I am not. Probably why I am self-employed. Yeah. I can go a bit rogue. Okay. You know. Yeah. I say what I think. Yeah. When maybe there are times that I should learn to shut up. Okay. Yeah. Especially when you're working within a company and they're doing something you think is a really stupid idea because they haven't asked the staff and the team, and you think you're talking absolute nonsense. Yeah. At that point,
but it's not your place to say, but you do. Yeah. A lot of people don't. So, yeah.
So I was probably. I think when they used to do those disc analysis things when you work for jobs and stuff. I think mine came up with like unmanageable, you know. Yeah. I'm owning that one.
Yeah, good.
So it was good. Well. But from the other point of view, sitting on the board, I had a say at the table. I was part of a team, you know, with the other board members from the different departments. So it was important from that point of view to have an understanding of what the company was trying to do, where we were going, what the goals were, and how we were all playing a part. Okay. So on a serious point of view, that was it. Yeah. And it was. I think I was the youngest female to sit on that board at the time.
That's fantastic. Was there any other women on the board?
Yeah, we had a lady who was in charge of the classified department. And then me. Yeah. And she'd been in classified for years. I really respected her. She was really good at her job. Yeah. She was really good with the team. Amazing results. Yeah. And then we had 9/11 happened. Oh, okay, yeah. And the bottom fell out, you know, completely. Yeah. I'd had the newspaper I worked on, we hadn't missed a target in 2 years.
Right.
We were smashing it out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, like literally the sun shone from all of my orifices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like I could do no wrong.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened. And the entire company was suffering from it.
Yeah.
Everybody was missing, you know. And we were coming in weekends, we were coming up with, you know, new ideas, things to create, to put in, to help to try to get the confidence back in spending.
Yeah.
And we were all stressed, you know.
Yeah.
We were all feeling it, you know, putting loads of hours in and trying to G your teams up when it's like hard, really hard.
Yeah.
And it's something that's out of your control, you know. This was like not just happening to us, it was happening to all across probably across the world, you know. Yeah. So we went to a board meeting.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Oh.
December. So my birthday's just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And guy who was like the MD at the time started asking for the reports, and the lady who ran classified was giving her a report, and he was like giving her a bit of a hard time about it, and she started crying.
Oh gosh.
And he continued.
Oh gosh.
And I had my line manager ahead of me was sitting there looking at my face, which is like fucking thunder.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I'm thinking, this is
not okay.
This is not okay. No. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is not okay. She's obviously stressed.
Yeah.
This woman had an exemplary record at the company.
Yeah.
Really good performances, was a lovely woman.
Yeah.
And I did not feel it was appropriate to treat somebody like that.
No, not at all.
So as soon as we came out of the meeting, I'm sat there with my arms crossed.
Yeah.
You know, the entire body language is, do not come anywhere near me.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So anyway, came out of the meeting, my line manager came straight out after me.
Yeah.
And I told him what I thought. I said, if this is the management style, I don't want to be a manager here, you know?
Not interested.
Yeah. So we broke up that day for Christmas when we came back in. 2nd of January. No, I handed my notice in.
Oh, okay, you did it. Okay.
I said, that's it. I said, I thought about it. Said over Christmas.
Yeah.
This isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I left.
Yeah.
I had to work 3 months' notice.
Yeah.
So
once you've decided, once something like that happens, it's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going against your own value system.
But you know as well what I saw?
Yeah.
Myself in another 10 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, if they can't respect her after that length of service,
I agree.
She's not going to change because it's me. No. I will be her in another 10 years.
Exactly, yeah.
So I just went, right, that's me, I'm done.
Good for you.
And my line manager was not happy. But
so when you set up Pinkling, you were saying about your exemplary skills at taglines and marketing and PR.
God.
How does what does the pink stand for, and how did you come to that?
So that was sort of born out of, I spent so much of my time in corporate being a woman surrounded by a lot of men.
Yes.
I didn't play football.
Yeah.
I really watched football. I didn't play golf. You know, and
didn't really want to fit the stereotype of trying to fit into that.
I went to work most days, if I'm honest, in a black suit.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I was like I was going to war.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It was like, come on then, I will show you, I can do this job.
Is that to blend in and not stand out as a woman?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably a bit.
So many people do that.
I think the thing was, I felt that if I was too girly, then I wouldn't be taken seriously. Yeah. You know, so I went to work looking like the man from the Milk Tray outfit, you know?
Yeah.
And, I hid any femininity because I thought it would be...
It was a negative.
It would show my weaknesses. Yeah. And I needed to be respected as an equal.
Isn't that interesting that as women we carry that when actually we bring so much to the party? We just...
I know, but it wasn't encouraged. Yeah. You know, that aspect wasn't nurtured. Yeah. So you see this bit here coming, that's the back of the zoo.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes along here, get the giraffes and the elephants coming.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
So done there today, but there's another bit we might see.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it looks like a giraffe section.
Yeah, so, you know, you were wowed by the horses. You might see an elephant in a minute. Yeah. Or even a tiger.
Even a tiger. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was... so the pink came from me finally sort of saying, do you know what? It's okay to be female, you know? Yeah. I am good enough. In fact, I'm bloody better than some of the people.
Yeah, definitely.
It shouldn't matter that I'm a girl, that I'm a woman. So the pink came from passion, so having passion about your business, because that's how I felt women set up a lot of their businesses, because they were passionate about something. I, for inspiring. Yeah. So for the women to inspire others. Yeah. N was for the networking. Yeah. And K was about knowledge, sharing knowledge. So
really strong words.
The whole part of the pink part was always about that, really. Yeah. Because I wanted to set up something that was around those sorts of areas or values. Yeah.
And such a strong link back to your lived experience in the corporate world.
Yeah, because if finally I was going, like, if you'd have asked me all of those years ago, Sukanya, would I be spending all this time with women? I'd be like, no. Yeah. Because when I was a diving instructor, again, I was in a minority as a diving instructor. You know, it was all around men who were, I'm 5'2.5", you know. They're all big, burly guys. Yeah. And I remember another experience of one of the older guys from diving when I was coming to do my rescue course, because there's so many courses you had to work through to become an instructor. Yeah. And he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing my rescue course." He's like, "You'll never pass it."
Because you're small.
Because I'm too small.
Oh my goodness.
You know, how are you going to drag that guy that's, you know, unconscious in the water, you know, when you're that size? You're just a girl.
Goodness me.
Yeah. And I thought...
How restrictive.
I thought, I'll bloody show you, mate.
Yeah, good for you. So he didn't know he was talking to Coral.
So when I did take my instructor course, once I'd worked all the way through to that, I could have stuck as instructor. Yeah. So then I was able to train people to dive, you know, up to the instructor level. Yeah. But there was only one guy who had above that in our dive school. He owned the shop. Yeah. None of the other instructors did that, went any further. Yeah. So I took the master scuba diving instructor, which meant I could instruct instructors to become instructors. Right. So I was the only one. Right. And I did that.
Phenomenal.
Because I just thought, do you know what? Yeah. That's the top, that's the highest level. Yes. So I'm just going to go for that.
Yeah, totally.
And I'll show you who can't do rescue.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, just by being there and showing up, you're showing other people. Yeah, but you can look like me.
Yeah, but I'm also showing other women.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we're told we can't do stuff.
Yeah, and look at me, I've done it.
Yeah, it's like, so I do get a little bit, I get a bit between my teeth.
I love it.
You know.
Good for you though, because I think you have to challenge these systems and push back and say, well, you know, everyone's frame of reference is very different, and unless we show them a different reference point, they're going to believe what they're telling themselves. Pink Link, then came the EVA Awards.
Yes.
So when was that conceived?
So that happened back in 2011. Going this way. Yeah. So do you remember I said that's a short route?
Yeah.
We're back at that point.
Fabulous. Yeah.
So basically,
2011.
Yeah.
So Pink Link 2009.
I used to go to the Northwest Development Agency, and I was a woman's ambassador for them.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Basically, that we would connect with women and make sure that we were doing our utmost to let them know about the women's ambassadors, and they would have a quarterly, I think quarterly, there was a get-together of women in business with them. And Christine McVeigh was in charge of the women's ambassadors. She's an MP in Parliament now. Okay. And anyway, they used to run a Northwest Women in Business Awards at Ruby Hall.
Yeah.
And I got to go. And it was fabulous because I was meeting all these women that were really real trailblazers.
Yeah.
Another Robin down there on the embankment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and
nicely camouflaged.
I was really inspired by them. I was quite young in my business.
Yeah.
And I thought, crikey, look at these girls. They're really doing well, you know.
Yeah.
Got amazing businesses. And the fact that they were talking to me, you know, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I now know such and such, you know. It was so nice to connect with these women. They were so inspiring.
Yeah.
And also many of them really happy to sort of give you their time and knowledge, you know. Anyway.
We had the credit generous, actually. Isn't it? Yeah.
And we had the credit crunch. And the funding was cut in the January of 2011. And that's when I went, I'm gutted, you know, I won't be going to that anymore. So I thought, why don't I just start one?
Yeah.
And that's how I started.
Oh, amazing.
I got this crazy idea.
Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal, because actually, why not?
Well, I'd never done an awards before.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, it can't be that hard, can it?
Yeah.
So I went away and did some research.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, they want so much money for this, that and the other. Anyway, we had it back in Ruby Hall.
Okay.
And when I'd gone to their previous awards, they'd had about 225.
Right.
So I thought, well, let's put a measure in here. I'm always one for setting goals and measurements.
Yeah.
If I get 150, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If I get 200, I thought I'll be ecstatic. Because this is like the first one.
Yeah.
306.
Wow.
Sold out, crammed in. So year 2, we went extended into the back room.
Yeah.
Sold out again, 380. Year 3, went to the Hilton.
Yeah.
Sold out again, 480.
Wow.
And then I took the decision to take it to the Winter Gardens.
Yeah. Iconic.
Which was a massive leap.
Yeah.
Because it's an amazing building, but it also comes with an amazingly high price tag.
Yes.
So
a lot of pressure to sell those tables.
Yeah, a lot of pressure to get sponsorships, to pay for everything, you know.
Yeah.
The audio-visual equipment that's needed in a room that size. I remember getting my first quote. I said to the guy, I don't want to buy an island, mate. I just want some lights and vision and sound for one night. You know, but that's...
Goodness me.
I'm now into the tens of thousands. Yeah. Paying for things like that, you know.
Yeah,
on top of...
It's so well known now, isn't it?
Yeah, so now we're national, and obviously the most we've had now is 75. And I've got to be honest, it was a bit noisy that year.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
I'm happy when we're around the 650 mark.
Yeah.
Because that's...
725 is phenomenal.
It's controlling people, their noise levels. Yeah. You're getting the garlic again.
I am getting the garlic again. It's just such a pretty park, isn't it?
Yeah, after another robin.
More robins.
After a few Prosecco's, you tend to find the levels, noise goes up. Yeah. And when you're trying to go through the categories, you need to keep attention to stuff.
Yes.
So...
Yes, that gets tricky.
So and that I never envisaged that. Yeah. People on the journey, as they say, when they saw the growth of it, were saying to me, oh, you know, Coral, what's happening? And I was like, you know, the growth of this. Yeah. And I always said, listen, it's a tiger, but I've got it graspfully gripped at its tail. Yeah. So I'm on it, you know, don't worry, I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've had to develop and change things as we've gone and grown. Yeah. And we continue to.
And also, you know, the impact to the people that win the awards or get nominated is phenomenal, isn't it? The recognition is, it's not just something that you thought I'd do for fun.
No. The outcomes for the winners, for many of the winners, are amazing. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So last year, one of our winners, because we do press releases and stuff for everyone, one of the BBC picked it up. Yes. They put an article on their website, you know, the one I'm talking about. And we saw the ladies on the Tuesday. They came to the winners' gathering in London. And the article went out on the Sunday on the BBC. Yeah. And she said, we've done 1,000 orders. Wow. Since Sunday. Phenomenal. And I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah, you know, phenomenal. If you're helping to raise profiles like that, and the outcomes, sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's other things, you know. They go on to win other awards, get more recognition. And that, again, it's like the networking, you know.
Yes.
We've had somebody come through the EVAs for the first time. Yeah. And sometimes they'll say, I never entered before because I didn't have the confidence. Yeah. And then when they win, and you see them elsewhere getting more accolades, that's amazing. That's brilliant, you know.
Yes. Because it's talking for itself then, isn't it?
Getting the calf muscles going now, aren't we? Up this little hill.
It's slightly uphill, yeah. Having attended my first EVAs last year, it was just wonderful.
Is that your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time. It was just so nice.
You looked beautiful. Your dress was gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
I like the EVAs to be that excuse for women to really go to town.
Yeah.
And
be all woman or
express themselves in anything that they want to. I always people say to me, what's the dress code? Yeah. My response is always the same. Whatever makes you feel fabulous. Yeah. Because it's your night. You know,
it be a dress or it's not conforming, is it?
No.
Yeah.
So we've had all sorts. Yeah. And continue to, and I think that's great.
Yeah, that's excellent. So on my table there was a winner, and they had picked out who the winner was for their category, and it wasn't them. So when it was announced, it was genuine flabbergasted, wide eyes, rabbits and headlights, tears. It was just so wonderful.
Yeah, I really like that when they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I can never call because I don't do the judging. I see their applications.
Yeah.
I don't judge them. Yeah. And I think sometimes as well, some people who maybe think that they'll get it, maybe make the mistake of not putting the effort in for the judging panel. Yeah. And so don't come across as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whereas those that really put that effort in, you know, and they make the most of that opportunity, come away and the judges go, oh, she was just amazing, you know, blew us away. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So we touched on loads of really interesting stuff. And we did then very quickly talk about Kilimanjaro and moved away. So is that the sort of thing you do in your downtime? Conquer mountains?
There's a whole story on this Kilimanjaro, but so I did Kilimanjaro not last year, but October 23.
Okay. It
was like literally 9 days after the awards. I was off to Tanzania.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I'd had a really difficult year in 2023.
Okay.
Coming out of COVID was hard. You know, 80% of my business was lost.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Yeah. It was like going back 9 years financially. It was like really hard to rebuild everything. Yeah. To where we were. And just sort of getting through that, and then a lot of other things were happening around in the business world, competitors starting up, and you know, the whole landscape changing slightly. Yeah. And my best mate from across the road took ill. Okay. She was actually, it was just after the EVAs. Right. And in the year before. Right. And it turned out she had cancer of the esophagus.
Oh gosh. Oh, Coral.
And so yeah, she lived across the street. 14 years, you know. Yeah. And I remember her daughter Maisie going to school at 4, you know. Oh, and so yeah, she would. She didn't tell anyone apart from her sisters initially, and I was sworn to secrecy. Yeah. Her sisters would go around the evening, so they'd go around in the day. Yeah. I'd finish work and I'd pop over the road to see her. Yeah. And so yeah, I would be around with her after work every night. Yeah. And then pop in at weekends. So she was, she basically couldn't eat. Yeah. So she had a tube up her nose, and she was like 6 stone. You know, she was wasting away before her eyes. Yeah. And she had to tell her family at the Christmas time because they were getting a bit suspect as to what the heck was going on. Yeah. That's when she had a tube inserted. Right. And then in the January, I found a lump in my neck.
Oh, goodness me, Cool.
And I was like, what the hell? I'm literally looking to the sky going, give us a break here, you know? Yeah, exactly. So I kept it quiet. Yeah. After a couple of weeks, I went to the walk-in. Yeah. Thought, I'm not going to the doctors, I'll just go queue up at the walk-in centre. Yeah. One Saturday. I'd literally been with my friend. She needed some cat food and stuff, so I'd done some shopping, had a cup of tea with her, left her, gone to the walk-in, and they gave me a cancer referral card, and I was like, you are shitting me.
My God. Yeah.
This is
making my stomach lurch.
Yeah, I was like going, so I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
There was so much stuff going on, and my biggest concern was my friend, you know. And so after that, I went to town, and I was supposed to be meeting my sister in town. My sister had breast cancer a number of years ago, so we went to the coffee shop. Yeah, I sat down and I told her what happened.
Oh, okay.
And I said, right, you know, I said, don't tell mum and dad.
Yeah.
My dad's got onset dementia.
Oh, okay.
I thought he's not going to understand and it's going to upset him. Anyway, long story short, I was referred. And I had to have half my thyroid removed.
Okay.
But my friend took a big downturn.
Oh.
She had chemotherapy.
Right.
But they'd left it till 63 days, which is the time, is their limit, I believe.
Okay.
So when you have a cancer referral, you're told you will be seen in 63 days. Yeah. She was 63 days.
Wow.
And all that time, she couldn't eat or drink.
Goodness.
So you can imagine
really mad,
the state of her. What they also didn't do was do another scan to see what was going on. It changed. So anyway, there's a long story on that one. Yeah. But when they treated her, it didn't make her any better. It actually made her worse. Oh. So she passed away on February the 28th. Yeah. You know what happens after February 28th? We have International Women's Day. Yeah. So I had International Women's Day. Yeah. On the 8th of March. And then I went in to have my thyroid removed the next morning. And I still hadn't told anybody. Yeah. Apart from Lizzie. The team knew. My sister knew. Yeah. I told my mum. Yeah. After Lou died, I told mum. Yeah. And then my dad found out the day I was in. Oh. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I was really lucky. Yeah. I was dealt with really quickly. Yeah. And they removed it and they said it was benign. Oh, so when I went back for because basically when they do it, they detected cancerous cells and they said, look, this has got a chance of turning into cancer. So either we take it out now or you take your chances. Yeah. I mean, and so I was like, okay, had to think about it. But I didn't get a lot of time to think about it. Literally, I saw the guy with the results, the consultant, and the next day I was told, that's your date, you're going in. I was like, so now I'm a nice little scar. Yeah, beautiful. My war wound. But I'm still here. Yeah, exactly. You know?
Goodness me, that's a lot in a short space of time.
So I went back to the consultant, and when he said I didn't need any more treatment, that was all good to go. I said, right, let's go away. Yeah. Can I climb Kilimanjaro? He said, if you really want to. I said, right, I'll do that then. Yeah. So, as I was part of the Women Supporting Women, part of the Prince's Trust at the time, and they'd floated this Kilimanjaro trip. Yeah. And they wanted 10 women to do it. Yeah. And so I went, okay, so it was like the May. I just said, okay, I'll sign up for it. Yeah. So I signed up for Kilimanjaro. Yeah. Because I thought, like we talked earlier, when you have these massive things that happen in your life, it reminds you again how short life is. Yeah.
What's important.
Yeah, totally.
Why are you worrying about certain things?
Yeah. So I just went, right, okay, I'm going to do Kilimanjaro. So a friend of mine, really into hiking, does all that hiking in the lakes. Yeah. And she said to me, I said to her, do you want to come do Kilimanjaro? She said, you off your trolley. She says, you don't even hike. She says, I'm really experienced hiker and even I'm not ready for Kilimanjaro. And I said, oh, surely it can't be that hard. It's like one foot in front of another. It's
just
walking. Yeah. So
upwards a little bit.
That was my attitude to it. I just thought, well, people do it, don't they? Yeah. You know, can't be too difficult. Why can't I do that? Yep. So yeah.
And that's actually a really strong recurring theme with this chat is, why can't I do it if other people can do it? Why would I limit myself?
We're only here once, aren't we?
Yeah. I love that.
So I did have to do a lot of training. Yeah. Like I said at the beginning of this walk, I would do this 5 times a week. Yeah. I was getting up at the crack of dawn, so I was out at 6:30, you know? Yeah. So it takes an hour and a half. Yeah. So
you need to be back and ready for your work.
For work, yeah. So, and then once I'd done this in the morning, I'd then be at the gym 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then,
commitment.
Oh, it was massive. Yeah, massive. And then I was going through to Burnley to the college over there because they have look at me. I was going to the elite training area, which is where they have all this specialised equipment for athletes, sports people. Yeah. And there's little old me. Yeah. Doing training. So they have their chamber where you can go and you do exercises.
Oh, cool.
And they take the altitude down in the chamber. Oh, okay. So your body, your body gets used to having experienced hard exercise.
That's really great.
At this various...
Because that's what gets a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
The altitude.
The altitude sickness. Yeah. So I just drive through and do that. A couple of times a week, 2-3 times a week in the build-up. So my body got used to understanding what it was like to perform strenuous activity at altitude. So it was quite a crazy time. I look back now and I think, I don't know how I fitted it all in, really.
Yeah, because actually you were still rebuilding yourself and your business.
And I was grieving.
And grieving,
so I asked my friend's family if I could take some of her ashes. Yeah. And so I took...
Wasn't that lovely? Oh my God, you're going to make me cry.
So, I took the ashes with me. Yeah. And when I got to the top, so we did the summit. Yeah. We started off at like 11:30 at night. Yeah. So it was a night...
Oh, okay.
Walk.
It's just walking, Coral.
It was -19. Wow. I was so cold. I don't do cold well.
Well, you don't even think about that because you're thinking it's Kilimanjaro. Of course it's going to be hot, but you're in the skies.
25-mile-hour winds, right?
Oh, my goodness.
And it's literally all scree. Straight up. And you're in the dark. You just got your headlights on. Your lights in your hat and all the rest of it. Anyway.
Sometimes that's better because you don't know what's
I'm so glad I didn't see where we were. Because when I came down the next day in daylight, I was like, shit. It never got me up there. So when it took us 9 hours to get up. Yeah. People were throwing up. Oh, we couldn't eat. And all that time we didn't eat. I think I ate, they were giving us glucose tablets.
Oh, okay.
They were literally, when we took breaks, and we were sat on whatever rock we perched on, the porters and the crew, who are guides, literally were just poking in glucose tablets into our mouths. We couldn't speak. It was like, oh my God, so hard. Yeah. And there were times when physically just putting your leg, doing that one foot in front of another was so difficult. Yeah. And I did, as I was going through it, I thought, I have to do this because my friend didn't have any choice. Yeah. She had to go through every day being sick and literally wasting away. She had to find so much determination to keep going. Yeah. So I thought, I can't not. I've got to keep doing it. So by the time we were exhausted, by the time I got to the top, and I spread her ashes on the top.
How emotional was that?
Very. Yeah, it still is now,
I was getting emotional when I wasn't there, so I can
I just went off on my own, away from the group. Yeah. And I just did it on my own. And then it took 3 hours to get down. Literally, they get the porters and the guys to drag you down. They just get you off. They need to get you off as soon as possible. Right. So that you're no longer at the altitude.
Oh, I see, yes.
The longer you stay up there, obviously, the worse the effects can have. Yeah. So,
Oh, wow.
So I did Kilimanjaro. Yeah. Which was just
incredible.
Crazy.
It was more than just doing Kilimanjaro, wasn't it? This is a whole culmination of things.
There was a bracelet from my friend's stuff. Yeah. I was given a few bits and I was given the chance to choose something. Yeah. And I chose like a really cheap bracelet. It was just, one of those wire ones, it's like made from leather, like a leather one. Yeah. It wasn't expensive. I'd worn it every day. Yeah. Since she'd passed. Yeah. And I'd put a little heart on it and I'd had her, the day she'd passed engraved and her initials on it. And I'd done the same heart for her daughter. Yeah. And day 5, I lost it.
Oh, that's good.
On this wall. Yeah, I was, yeah. But in a way, I sort of thought it was symbolic. Yeah. I thought, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm like thinking, I think she's trying to tell me I need to let go now.
Yeah. Move forward.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
Not to forget her, but to move on with my life, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's a really strong statement, actually, because grief is a really strange
Very strange.
And everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
But there is a perception that you're meant to be perpetually unhappy.
Oh, but, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. I think it's good to be sad and it's healthy to cry, and it can come in waves, can't it?
Yeah, totally.
Out of the blue. Couple of years, or you might not think about it for years and years.
Well, this is it. After I think the difference was, none of our friends were allowed to see her. She wouldn't see anybody. And she wouldn't see any of her other friends. Right. So I was the only friend that she would allow to go and see her. And I'd spent over 3.5 months with her. Yeah. Literally going through the whole thing with her. You know, really going around trying to make her laugh and telling her crazy stuff that was going on and all of those things. Yeah. And so my friends, our mutual friends, missed the opportunity to say goodbye. Yeah. But at the same time, I say, no, do you know what? You also missed seeing how ill she was, you know? Yeah.
And she was protecting everyone. Really,
she was, The week before she passed was the last time I saw her. Yeah. And I took round gin ice lollies.
Oh, did
I made some for her
because
she couldn't drink a drink. She could only suck ice cubes. Yeah. And so I'd made these gin ice lollies. Yeah. And the family were at the house. Yeah. And I said, "Can I give her a gin ice lolly?" Well, it was a bit like John Lennon and Yoko Ono. We had a bed in, so because she couldn't get out of bed, you know. So we literally stayed on her bed. Yeah. Laughing about stuff, drinking these ice lollies, and even the family said it was the best night she ever had. Oh, that's beautiful. You know, and so I think it's how we things we do for other people to make those memories. Yeah, definitely. So oh, how wonderful! And we're back at your house. We are, and the postman's been. And look at that. Oh, life is continuing.
It is. It's the small things that remind us that it's just another
life
day.
Goes on, and I think that was the thing for me. I had to get used to the fact that life just is going to carry on, you know?
Yeah. And it's lovely that you have that friendship. And you will always have that friendship.
Oh, yeah, totally. So how was that walk for you?
Amazing. I loved it. Oh, well, thank you very much, Coral. It's been an absolute pleasure. I feel like we could do a follow-up and a follow-up to the follow-up, to be honest. You were so interesting to talk
thank
to.
You.
Yeah, it was really good.
I hope I didn't overshare too much.
No, not at all.
You want me to be honest.
It's all about oversharing, but that's what we love. Thank you.
And thank you.
Wowzers, what an incredible journey that was, through Stanley Park and Salisbury Woods, learning about coral, from leaving school to going to the Cayman Islands, to coming back, to starting again, to going into sales, to setting up her own enterprise, to learning about herself and understanding the importance of uplifting each other, uplifting women, providing a platform. Just incredible. Coral, thank you so much for sharing with us, and also for trusting us with some deeply personal challenges as well. And the way in which you navigated those challenges is truly incredible. If Coral's story has resonated with you, I'd love to hear how it has, and please do get involved in the conversations on social media, either LinkedIn, TikTok, Substack, Blue Sky, or YouTube. We also have a backlog of previous brilliant guests that you might find interesting, so please do check those out too. One more conversation, and oh my goodness, it was so enriching. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep following your own path.